This is Game 1, featuring the Falcons of Freeman and the Bison of Central City. Here are today's starting lineups. First for the Freeman Falcons, wearing number 2, 6'3" senior Taylor Petrovsky. Wearing number 10, 5'9" sophomore Hudson Petrovsky. Wearing number 14, 6'2" junior Hayden Jennings. Wearing number 22, 6'4" senior Carter Ruse. Wearing number 32, 6'2" senior Carter Ruse. Head coach of the Falcons is Jim McLaughlin. Now the starters for the Central City Bison, wearing number 0, 6'3" senior Ashton Gray. Wearing number 3, 6'3" junior Aiden Zickman. Wearing number 11, 6'4" senior Clark Brown. Wearing number 12, 5'9" senior Derek Pfeiffer. And wearing number 23, 6'4" senior Kenai Carney. Head coach of the Bison is DJ Blake. Game officials for today, Jake Dilsaver, Jason Kurtzina, and Greg Rue. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Heartland Hoops Classic Basketball.
Here on Striv Sports, it's the Heartland Hoops Classic here at the Heartland Event Center. My name is Bridger Cruz, with me, John Willis. And John, I'm excited to have you on today on such a great event.
Yeah, it's a great event. You get to see a lot of different matchups here today, matchups with different classes. It's going to be an awesome day. And we got a heck of a good matchup to start out with Central City and Freeman.
We absolutely do. Central City, one of the powerhouses in C1, and Freeman, one of the powerhouses in C2, and that defense showing up for Freeman early as the charge is taken, and that will land the ball back in the hands of Freeman.
Yeah, that was a nice play by Petrovsky early on to set his feet, take the charge. Those are the kind of plays you want to make early. This is a Freeman team that's very good defensively, holding teams to 34 points per game.
Yeah, it is, and Freeman, like you said, defensively such a big piece, but then Central City right down the other end, sending it back on the defensive end again, and they're back on the offensive. Shot goes up, and just off that left side, that's Aiden Zickman. Zickman just couldn't get it to fall, but it's early this morning, 9:40. Most of these kids probably still asleep on Saturdays, but instead playing a basketball game.
Yeah, and Aiden Zickman is the guy you expect to see for Central City, averaging 22 points so far this season. He's going to be a big key to watch for Central City.
Absolutely. Well, they're going to need him to have a good game, and that's the one guy that Freeman's going to need to have a good game. That's Carter Niles. His corner three's no good. Back down on the other end, though. Neither team scored yet, but Kenai Carney looking to have a say in that, and he will. Takes it into the post off a good lob pass, and that was all she wrote, as Kenai Carney put it in for 2.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pick and roll move. Freeman just didn't seem to see where that was going. Carney was able to walk into the paint pretty much untouched.
Yeah, and that's going to be a big part for Central City. They love the 3, but they're also going to really need to utilize that post play against Freeman. Freeman down the other end, trying to find something to do with it. Pump fake into the post, quick kick out. Freeman, very quick, high-paced offensive style as the shot goes up. Carter Ruse. And the 3 way off once again early on in the morning, so expect to see these teams get better as time goes on throughout the game. Good shot, good take, just could not finish. Aiden Zickman, hard off the glass, but straight down the other end. The Euro step, finished through contact. Taylor Petrovsky couldn't get it to go, and it's back down the other end for Central City. Quick volley pass down, and that's yet another post shot, this time off the fast break from Aiden Zickman. Sandbagging down the other end. It was a dime of a pass, and Zickman rewarded his team.
Yeah, and Central City is so good in transition. You saw pretty much a 3/4 quarter pass to Aiden Zickman, and Zickman's able to do what he does, and that's score. And early start here for Central City. They've started out nice.
They absolutely have, and Freeman offensively trying to get something figured out. As this 3 goes up, that is not going to be your answer. Hudson Petrovsky put up the three, then stepping out of bounds. Central City bench was quick to make sure that the refs knew that that was out of bounds.
Well, Freeman from beyond the arc hasn't been bad as a team this year. They shoot 32% from beyond the three-point arc, but so far they've taken a couple threes and none of them have fallen. And you mentioned it, how early it is in the morning could definitely play a factor into that.
It absolutely is. And then the other thing to consider is how much space there is behind each basket. There's just open space for miles, it seems. That three's going to go, though. Ashton Gregg hitting it from beyond the arc, the first three of the day, and it's a 7-0 lead early for the Bison as they charge ahead of Freeman.
Yeah, what a start here for Central City. Obviously, one of the better teams in C1. They're off and flying here early. Freeman, of course, such a defensive team. They don't want to get in a shootout with this Bison team. They got to find some offense, though, on this possession.
They are going to have to find offense because, like you said, a shootout with Central City, it's going to end in Central City's favor, but the defense for Central City is what's paying dividends right now. The defense creating offense as it just did right there.
Yeah, Carter Niles kind of tried to jump stop into the lane, but just wasn't able to keep his feet from moving. And those are turnovers that, are on you, and so you got to limit those mistakes if you're Freeman against this good Bison team.
You absolutely do. Taking it hard off the right side, up off the glass, Ashton Gregg. Too strong. Back down the other end for Freeman. That's Talon Vetrovsky. So Talon and Hudson Vetrovsky, are we thinking brothers? Are we thinking cousins? Are we thinking no relation and just a weird last name similarity?
I would think with some of these smaller schools, you'd think brothers with those two. You see that so often in those C to D schools, and I would assume that that's what the relationship is.
That would make the sense. The first foul is drawn, and wait to see who it's called on. It was a good drive, went straight up into the middle, and took the contact hard.
And that's what Freeman needs to do here early on. Obviously, things are not necessarily working offensively. They haven't been able to knock down shots beyond the arc. So get into the paint, draw contact, and see if you can knock down your free throws.
Foul was on Kenai, Carney, and Vetrovsky's. They're brothers. We got that clarified for us, so they are brothers. But Freeman got their first points off free throws, and this free throw is really a good opportunity for a team like Freeman that can shoot the ball well. Good opportunity for them to start heating up and warm up as the second one falls as well.
Yeah, Carter Niles, too. It helps that he was at the line. He's an 81% free throw shooter.
Yep.
So he's been really good at the free throw line this year for Freeman, and that's big to just slow things down. Maybe see if they can get it going.
And a quick turnover. Actually, wait to see. It's mayhem on the ball. Freeman comes up with it. They'll hold the ball out, wait for the fast break. And that's going to be a foul on Ashton Gregg. It's a hand check. So that'll be the second foul now on Central City. And Freeman, yeah, I think that was big just to get their first point. Sometimes you see teams, they struggle to get the first points, but then once they get them, they can take that deep breath. It's like, all right, we've scored. We can roll now.
Well, and then on the other end, they were able to force a turnover. This is a Freeman team that averages forcing 10 per game. They got to keep that going.
They absolutely do. Good offensive rebound by Carter Ruse. And he gets it to go over Kenai Carney. Ruse at 6'2", Carney at 6'4". Carney had the height advantage, and that's another turnover. And this Freeman defense really starting to get to work.
Yeah, 2 turnovers forced in the last 40 seconds or so.
And this three on the way, no good yet again. So from the three-point line, still not able to hit, but good play by Central City to evade the ball as it flew back in bounds. They'll take over again. But yeah, but like we said, we're seeing Freeman just start to, I think, warm up a little bit more, get more comfortable. And, this is a big tournament. There's a lot of pressure into this tournament, it may seem, for a lot of these teams. So it's tough for some of these schools to really play in this tournament and be comfortable early. Yet another turnover, though, just trying to do too much. That's Dylan Pfeiffer. Gets his pockets swiped. And Freeman back the other way. Pump fake at the three-point line. It's a hard foul. And it'll be called on Central City.
Yeah, you saw that time. He was just driving into the lane, Caden Jennings. And just kind of tripped that time.
Yeah, and Derek Pfeiffer just wrong place, wrong time. He was trying to close out defensively, and then Jennings slipped and fell right into Pfeiffer. Yeah, 2:26 left, 7-4. Only a 3-point differential separates, and really back and forth game. Central City started out hot offensively and defensively, and now Freeman started to settle in, started to get comfortable a little bit more, and we have ourselves a game.
Yeah, and for Freeman, I think the biggest thing was just they were able to weather the early storm. Obviously, they got down 7 early, but now able to kind of calm things down with some turnovers and some made free throws.
Yep, free throws paying dividends right now as there's now only a 1-point game. Central City leading by just 1, and heading into the game, Brandon Juergens for Hayden Jennings on that Freeman side. And Central City will take the ball again offensively. Central City averaging 60 points per game. They're going to need to get some of that scoring started, and that's the guy to do it. Clark Brown hit the tray.
Big thing for the Bison, too. They've already knocked down 2 threes here early in the first, and Brown just able to hit that one from the corner. That was a big answer because it felt like Freeman was getting all the momentum.
It was, but that time Carter Ruse, his trade tries to return the favor, and no favor returned. And Freeman, if your threes aren't falling, you're going to have to start looking inside.
Well, yeah, they have 6 points, but they still only have 1 field goal. 4 of their points have come from the free throw line. They got to start finding something that's going to work offensively other than just drawing contact.
You do. Kenai Carney, he'll put up the 2. Too hard off the glass, but the rim, but a good offensive rebound. And a timeout taken by Central City. And we'll take a break right here with them. Here at Striv Sports at the Heartland Event Center, and it's the Heartland Hoops Classic. And we'll be right back.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
And we're back live off the timeout. Central City taking it. They had the ball off a good offensive possession, and they wanted another shot to score, and we're right back. I'm Bridger Cruz. With me is John Willis here at the early game. 9:50 in the morning in beautiful Grand Island, Nebraska. We're set for a good day of basketball here at the Heartland Hoops Classic. Quick, nearly a turnover, tripping and falling. Freeman will retain possession of it. A wait on the fast break. They're off to Carter Ruse again, guarded by Carney. Ruse, the last time, won the battle against Carney, won't decide to try to do anything again, and Aiden Zickman jumped up high into the clouds and got the steal. He's back down on the other end. This high-paced Central City offense trying to see what they can make. Now under a minute. And drawing the foul, that's Kenai Carney, and foul beyond Ruse.
Only the first team foul for Freeman here early on. They've done a pretty nice job playing physical but also not fouling. I think that's always the biggest balancing act for a team like Freeman that plays such good defensively is, can you play physical and aggressive but do it in a manner that you don't foul?
Exactly. That's always the big balancing game is coaches preach good defense, but they don't want fouling, but sometimes good defense means fouling, but Freeman, they seem to have just found the perfect harmony. So now under a minute left, Central City's got the ball again, another chance to elevate this 4-point lead. They're just going to back it out. I don't think they'll play for last shot. A little bit too much time to start playing for last shot.
Yeah, they just want to take their time. I think they've been rushing a couple shots here early on, and so they want to slow it down a little bit, find the right shot.
And now 36 seconds and counting down left. Carney's got it above the 3-point line, guarded by Ruse. We've seen Carney shoot 1-3. He'll pull him in games if he's open. But this time he'll just go to work in the post, and he's got it on Ruse. Good patient post shot, and yes, you said it best. They're not going to play for last shot. They're just going to take their time and set up for a good shot, and that is a good shot for Carney.
Well, it went for Carney. It wasn't the prettiest looking shot, but a nice shot by him.
It was, and finally, 3-point blood is drawn by Carter Ruse for Freeman, and that's a big shot. Last shot will be put up by Central City. It'll be no good. So after quarter number 1, 12-9, Central City and the Bison charged out to an early lead in Central City. Fought back in an exciting first quarter of action. And John, what'd you see in that first quarter?
Well, I think the most impressive thing we saw Central City, it was really a first quarter of run. Central City got up 7-0 early, then they were able to kind of come back, get the game a little bit.
And it looks like we'll be ready right when we return.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
Go get it, Zach!
It's the battle of the bigs. Early today is for Freeman. Carter Ruse has 5 and Kenai Kearney with 4. The big men playing in ways that we may not see many big men. They'll play at the post, they'll play at the three-point line, and very versatile big men.
Yeah, you know, all the talks nowadays with basketball is who can shoot the ball the best from beyond the arc, but love a good post, love a good forward, and so far they're both playing well for both squads.
They are, and with neither team shooting the ball really great right now, those are the guys they're going to turn to. As Freeman sets up only down by 3, and like you said, they weathered the storm in that early first quarter surge for Central City, and now they're right back in it, only down by 3 and looking to return the favor. That's a good move. A little bit of a hesitation, but going to be called for the foul. Yeah, but that's a great move for Hudson Vetrovsky. He pump faked at the three-point line, kept his dribble, looked up like he was going to shoot a floater, and then went back in. That's a high IQ basketball play.
Yeah, it was everything but the finish for Vetrovsky on that play.
It was.
Nice job, yeah. $1
million move, $1 finish. But Central City back down on the other end. They don't waste much time offensively as they give it off to Kearney, and Kearney goes to work again in the post, and now he's got 6.
Yeah, an early really nice start for Kenai Kearney. He's playing well early on. We mentioned the battle of the big men so far, and with the long hair and the headband and everything, he's playing well.
He is. He's rocking a little bit of style out there on the court. Now Ruse has got it. And Freeman, again, offensively, they finally got that 3 to fall. They just haven't shot the ball specifically well, but can that change? Not quite yet. As another quick foul is called, Kenai Kearney, the big rebound, and the ref's quick to reward it.
Once again, that was Carter Ruse taking the 3 from beyond the arc. And, you know, you wouldn't expect for Ruse, you know, standing at 6'2", one of your forwards, to pull that much from beyond the arc, but he has, and, you know, just so far tonight, they have not been falling.
They have not, and Freeman, this is really what makes a great team, is can they adjust, and Central City doing a great job of just playing their game as Aiden Zickman knocks down the jumper.
And we talked about Zickman, you know, heading into this one. Obviously, he was going to be a big player to watch. As we got a timeout here from Freeman as they now find themselves down by 7 once again.
They do find themselves down by 7, and we will stay right here. But just like that, we've seen just how good Central City is at scoring, and we talked about it a little bit earlier on in the game. Is Freeman, they don't want to get into an offensive battle because Central City is going to win it. So Freeman has got to find a way to tighten the defense and start elevating the offense as well.
Yeah, you know, Freeman, they do a pretty good job offensively, you know, average right about 60 points per game, but their game is the defensive game, and you don't want to get in a shootout with a team like the Bison, with a player like Aiden Zickman, who only has 4 points early on, averaging 22 on the season, but if he can get going, that's going to be an issue for Freeman.
It absolutely will, and that's just the thing right now, is nothing in this game statistically seems to be common for either team. So the question is, which team is going to start playing their game first and get back to where they're comfortable, because that's going to be the team I think that will come up ahead.
Yeah, again, no team turning the ball over a crazy amount. Central City with 4 turnovers, 3 turnovers early on for Freeman. You know, no team shooting incredibly well from beyond the arc. So it's been a pretty evenly matched game so far.
It has. That's a good pass. Just can't get the finish. That's Carter Niles. was almost too open on the post and can't finish the left-handed post shot.
Yeah, sometimes you think about it before you go up, and that was a beautiful, fine down low to Niles. I don't know how he got so open.
I don't know.
But he's got to hit that shot for Freeman.
Yep, and that's just one of those that hurts the momentum, and it hurts really the morale of the team. You get an open look, and you just can't quite finish it. Kenai Carney got it from the free throw line. Not able to finish, but another offensive rebound. This time, Aiden Zickman's got it. Zickman quick off his first dribble. He'll go to work, but just pass it off. But Central City trying it again. They love to run really one-on-one basketball. You see it there. You get the ball, you dribble around, see what you can do. Another player will pop out to try to see if they can help you out. But that time, Clark Brown, try to do just a little bit too much.
It's now 5 turnovers for Central City. You know, a team like them, with how disciplined they are, you don't expect the turnover numbers to be, that large.
You don't, and that's just a good bucket for Talon Vetrovsky. And again, the middle of the court was wide open, and Vetrovsky just took what the defense gave him.
Yeah, and that's what Freeman needs to do more of, because they've left the lane open early on. They just haven't been able to take advantage of it, and finally they do.
They have not. And that time, Kenai Carney, tough post shots, spun around, and maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think Carney's trying to do too much right now for Central City. I think he needs to slow it down. They haven't worked in the half court a whole lot. They need to slow it down, move the ball around a little bit more.
They do. Ruse, the good kick out, good cover by Carney, but a quick pump fake and a jumper, and that's good for Hayden Jennings.
Jennings getting going, the 6'2 junior, only 6 points average per game, but he has 4 early on. A nice little jumper.
He is, and if Freeman could have a player like that come out, that would be a big boost. Zane Zickman, his 3 won't fall. But Freeman quickly back down the other end on the left side. The Euro step to step through. And headed to the line to shoot 2. That's Carter Niles. But that's a good move for Niles to make.
Yeah, what a step through move. He was able to split 2 defenders, drive into the lane. The bench would have gone berserk if he had been able to get that go and draw the foul. But
I think I would have gone berserk if he hit that move.
But for Freeman, they're 4 for 4 from the free throw line so far as a team, so they need to keep shooting well from the free throw line.
They do, and that's going to be the big thing if you're Freeman. When you're not shooting the ball specifically well, free throws will keep you in a game, and for Freeman, that is what's keeping them in the game right now.
And mention it, as a team, they're shooting 71% from the free throw line, which in a Class C2 school, that's pretty darn good.
That's very good, and no broadcaster's jinx can disrupt that. I was waiting for him to miss it, but when you're shooting 71%, I mean, there's no jinx that can stop that. Central City's got it. Back down on the other end. You said it, they haven't set up in a half court yet, so maybe this will be their half court set and wait to see what they can do in it.
It feels like individually each player's trying to do too much. I'd like to see them work the ball around a little bit more as a charge is called.
Yeah, that's Carter Brown. You said it, they're just trying to do too much. It seems like it's pass the ball, dribble it around, see what you can do personally. You got to start working the ball around a little bit more. And maybe that's what head coach BJ Blaze is going to talk about as he calls a full timeout. And we're going to take a break here on Striv Network at the Heartland Hoops Classic.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships, providing superior customer service, and supporting the community. Stop by Dinsdale Hyundai and experience the Ioniq 5, Motor Trend's 2023 SUV of the Year, with ultra-fast charging time, 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes, and a range of over 300 miles. The Ioniq 5 is a game changer. Discover all the premium features at an affordable price. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
Become a new Striv school. Join a community of educators and students. Get access to support, resources, and education. Your fans watch for free, and there's even a new revenue opportunity for your school. Contact sales at striv.tv to sign up your school to become a Striv school.
Back off the break here at the beautiful Heartland Events Center. I'm Bridger Cruz, with me, John Willis. And John, how do you think one wins one of those cars sitting down there? I've been very interested.
I'd like to win one of them.
I mean, I would
need an upgrade.
Yeah, I do too, and I really think that's where I need to go with my upgrade. But back to basketball. Central City head coach BJ Blaze calls the timeout. Looked very frustrated heading into the timeout, and Central City really we haven't seen them run an offense. It's more or less 5 guys wanting to score. It's not a team running an offense.
Well, yeah, and I think they're lucky that Freeman hasn't been able to get it going from beyond the arc, because if they did, I think the score could be a little more lopsided in favor of the Falcons. I don't think Central City has been playing at the level that they want to here early on.
They have not. Quick out of the break, a 3, no good again for Carter Niles. Trying to put some water in the pond from the 3-point line, but just can't get any rain. As another turnover for Central City, it's a fast break down the other end for Hayden Jennings. Jennings, good pass off to Niles, just can't quite finish it. And again, it's just one of those opportunities that you look at after the game and be like, maybe if we'd hit that post shot, maybe if we'd have converted on that fast break.
There's been a couple shots and looks that Freeman has had here early on that they just have not been able to convert that you would think that they would. And that was a prime example of that. That was a good move into the lane. Again, everything but the catch and finish.
Yep. Again, $1 million move, a $1 finish. Central City back down on the other end. Offensively, a lot more passing. But just the overpass by Aiden Zickman trying to get it into Carney. And if Carney was 7 foot, that would have been a beautiful pass, but only 6'4". But Freeman back down the other end. The other thing I noticed, these benches are very active. On defense, on offense, very active benches, which can really help boost a team.
Yeah, you know, especially with how early it is, you want to try to inject as much energy as you can. Obviously a big venue, bigger than they're used to, so got to get some energy going.
And that sure did help as Carter Ruse, nice post shot off the right side, laid it up sweetly off the glass. But Central City so quickly back down the court that time, couldn't convert anything off the fast break, but they want to run a fast offense, as that is a dime to Kenai Carney, and he's headed to the line for one more. But Derek Pfeiffer, he dropped a dime down there somewhere. He's got to go pick it up. That was a beautiful pass.
Yeah, that was made by the pass. That was a heck of a pass inside to Carney, and obviously Carney's going to make plays like that. That was a heck of a play.
It absolutely was, and in a game like this where it seems like the energy can kind of lull, you talked about it, big arena, probably not as loud as they're used to right now because it's so big. Having some of those big plays like that can really help inject some energy into the team. But Freeman, like we said, neither team wastes much time getting the ball down the court. It's a set 3 in the corner, and this one's good. Hayden Jennings stared down Central City's bench as he got there, and then Talon Vetrovsky nearly intercepted the pass, but flew out of bounds with it.
Only the second made 3 for Freeman here in the first half, but it couldn't have come at a bigger time. Obviously, now we're going back and forth, lead change for lead change, and finally getting one to fall from beyond the arc has to feel good for that Freeman team.
It does, and especially with how kind of inconsistent almost Freeman's played so far today, being up right now, that's huge. As Kenai Carney can't quite get the shot to fall into the post, and Freeman will set back up again to try to elevate their lead.
This is a juncture in the game where Freeman, I think, needs to hit a couple shots here to pull away late in the first half.
Yeah, as that 3, it's a tough shot, no good, but a good offensive rebound. And timeout first taken by Freeman. Jim McLaughlin calling the timeout to keep his team alive, up by 2 now. But Freeman, like we said, it seems like all we've talked about is how Central City's done these things good. Freeman, they should learn to set up and do things well. But Freeman now up by 2 in a first half that does not seem like they should be.
Yeah, you know, Freeman I don't think has played at the level that they're used to. You know, we mentioned all the missed threes. They've missed some bunnies, you know, in the paint and just haven't been able to get them to fall. But they played good defense, and that's what they've done all season is they've played good defense to keep themselves in this game. And heck of a play by Talon Petrovsky there at the end. One-arm pass to save that from going out of bounds, and a smart timeout from Freeman to kind of settle things down, avoid the jump ball, and keep possession with only a minute 19 left to play in the first half.
Well, yeah, not only talk about that pass, to not only throw it in bounds, but to be able to look, save yourself some time in the air, and then throw it. I mean, I could never jump up that high. Like, he jumped up in the air and was thinking in the air.
It's hard to do.
That is very hard to do.
And sometimes you see in those plays that those leads to turnovers. You know, you're not really looking where he's throwing the ball, but he threw that perfectly back to his teammates.
He did, and then a good timeout by Freeman. Minute 19 left. Can they make the timeout worth it, is the question. But they'll set up in this half court. Freeman, they can run their They can run a very fast-paced offense, or they can just take their time in a half-court set, and it looks like that's what they're looking to do. As I say that, they take a quick three, and it's good. Carter Ruse splashing it from beyond the arc. And a pass nearly went in off the deflection, but that's straight back down. The other end, raining threes, Derek Pfeiffer. A guy who's a big role player for Central City shows up and plays a big role as he hits the three.
Yeah, trading threes. Both teams now with 3 3-pointers knocked down here in the first half after, really nothing going from beyond the arc for both teams, and now seems that both teams are trading them.
So Freeman up by 2, 30 seconds left. They're going to play for last shot and try to head into the locker room with even more added momentum. But 20 seconds left. What a first half it's been. From a fast start from Central City to Freeman battling their way back. We see why both these teams are in this classic today. But 5 seconds left now. It's as good a time as any, and the post shot can't just quite finish it. Brandon Jurgens, he had a good look, a little bit off balance, and couldn't quite get it to go, but the Falcons will fly into halftime with a 2-point lead, 23-21 over the Bison. And we'll be right back here on Striv Sports at the Heartland Hoops Classic. I'm Bridger Cruz, and with me, John Willis.
Jack McGonigal here with head coach of Freeman, Jim McLaughlin. Jim, first good half here for Freeman. What are the adjustments you'll need to make in the locker room?
Well, we'll have to clean things up. Offensively, we haven't had much pace. Been a little bit inconsistent with execution, but I think teams are kind of feeling themselves out, in this first half.
Up 2 in the first half. What'd you like from the Falcons here in the first half?
Well, I like that we responded in the second quarter. I didn't think we were very aggressive in the first half or the first quarter, but I thought second quarter the kids responded. Defensively we've been really locked in, which gave us a chance to kind of get going a little bit offensively. But they're really good offensively, and so we've got to keep up our defense and hopefully get some scoring a little higher rate here in the second half.
All right, good luck the rest of the way, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
Become a new Striv school. Join a community of educators and students. Get access to support, resources, and education. Your fans watch for free, and there's even a new revenue opportunity for your school. Contact sales at striv.tv to sign up your school to become a Striv school.
Go get that!
Root for your home team and be there for all of the excitement. NSAAHome.org has all your high school sports championship ticket information.
Jack McGonigal here with Central City head coach BJ Blaze. BJ, what were your thoughts on your team's first half performance?
Yeah, good first half by both teams. Obviously, we threw a first punch. They came back and threw one, and then Clark Brown hit a big shot there at the end of the second half or second quarter to get it to 2. So it's going to be a battle. First 4 minutes of this game is going to be key. I think whoever wins this first 4 minutes is going to win the game.
Speaking of keys, what are your keys for your team's second half to win this game?
Try to get Aiden Zigman going a little bit more. That he's got a great defender on him, and move the ball a little bit more crisper and get our guys some shots. So I'm excited about the second half.
All right, good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
Participating in multiple Nebraska high school activities has taught me the value of teamwork.
I learned how to be a strong leader among my peers.
We set goals as a team and work hard to accomplish them.
I strive to excel not only in the classroom but on the playing field.
The Nebraska School Activities Association providing opportunities in 25 activities for our member high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.
And we're back for half number 2. Halftime felt like forever that we were not watching this basketball game. 23-21 is the score, and it's only going to get better from here. I'm Bridger Cruz, with me, John Willis. And John, what'd you see in half number 1?
I think for Freeman, again, it was weathering the early storm. We've talked about it all first half. Central City got up early, 7-0, but they were able to weather that. Then they were able to take the lead, and I think the biggest thing is they're sharing the ball. 3 different players with 7 points. Jennings, Niles, and Ruse all with 7. They haven't turned the ball over either. They've only turned it over 4 times. For Central City, they're led by Carney with 8 points. He's played well in the post. He's missed some shots, but still has 8 points, which I think speaks to the kind of athlete he is. But again, I think the biggest thing for Freeman is they've missed some shots that were open. So this score could be bigger in favor of Freeman. And so Central City, I think, has to play better than they did in the first half, because if Freeman starts hitting those shots, it could be a very different second half.
Yeah, and I really think here, if you're Central City, you're a little bit nervous. You're like, oh boy, Freeman did not play that very well, and they're up by 2.
Exactly.
If you're Central City, you have got to do what you did this half and then double it to be able to beat Freeman. And if you're Freeman, just keep heating up. Keep slowly heating up, and you'll be good. But Central City takes the ball offensively to get us started off the right side. That's a quick shot, and again, good defense. Couldn't quite get to finish. That was Ashton Gregg. But Freeman quickly back down the other side. Quick harassment. They tried to trap, but nothing coming. Carter Ruse, for a big man, got quite the handles. He fumbled it around, was able to dribble it all the way back out. Pump fake the 3, quick kick out. That would have been a deep 3 if he took it. Instead, trying to get it into the post. Bodies flying around. That ball just hit Aiden Zickman in the face. Aiden Zickman just ate it.
Hey, anything for the team.
Exactly.
To get the ball.
Zickman is the ultimate team player. But Central City back down offensively. Carney ran the post, or he ran the point spot. Trying to draw the foul. That's Dylan Pfeiffer. Just can't quite get it to go. The defense for Freeman stepping up early here in the third. Carney's got it. It's a mismatch for Carney. And no foul call, just can't quite finish the shot. Hudson Vetrovsky was looking for the charge, didn't get it, but it was good enough defense for Carney to miss the shot.
Yeah, Carney, I mean, you're not going to not get any kind of call there very often. And so for Carney, you got to take advantage when you get a good look like that after Vetrovsky hit the deck. So that's another missed opportunity from Central City.
It is, and missed opportunities. Every basketball team looks at them and film the next day. Carter Ruse, guess what that was? That was a missed opportunity. But Carter Ruse was a good pass, just couldn't quite get it to go. But Freeman will have yet another shot at a quick skip pass all the way over. Carter Ruse, and he rewards himself from downtown. He hits a 3. And that's the way to get started if you're Freeman.
What a pass. I mean, over the head, across the court. That was a dime of a pass.
It was, but right down on the other end, Derek Pfeiffer tried to return the favor. Couldn't quite get it done. But now Freeman's in trouble of a 10-second violation. Central City off the turnover. Kenai Carney fouled on the shot. Good pump fake. Took advantage of the defenders in the air.
And that's what he's got to do, obviously. As the big man, you got to drive into the lane, make plays like that, get contact, get to the free throw line. And then hopefully, knock down your free throws. That's always the biggest key to complete it.
That is, and talk about free throws. Freeman, free throws kept them in this game.
They did. They knocked down 6 of 6 in the first half.
At the beginning of the game, they were Old Faithful. When nothing else was working, they were getting the free throws, and that's what was keeping them competitive. Connie went 1 for 1. Quickly back down the other end for Freeman. Again, they waste no time, get down the court. That's a wide open look, and he's gone at the Freeman bench, lighting it up while holding up the threes, as that's a big-time shot for Hayden Jennings. And just like that, Freeman up by 7.
Well, we mentioned they struggled from beyond the arc in the first half, but they have 2 quickly in the first 2.5 minutes of the second half. Again, if they get shots to fall, this could be a more one-sided half.
This definitely could. Kenai Carney, the pass threaded the needle, but he just couldn't quite sew with it. So Freeman taking back down the other end, and it seems like a total switch of teams here. Freeman in the first half had a lot of opportunities missed, but now Central City missing a lot of opportunities early in the third.
Yeah, that's one that Carney's going to want back. He had a good look. He's had 2 good looks now that he hasn't been able to knock down in the second half.
Carter Ruse. Is he a big man? Is he a point guard? He's a Swiss Army knife. He does what he wants. Knocks down a jumper, and that's a quick timeout for Central City. As we will head into a break and let Central City and Freeman talk about some game strategies, and we'll be right back.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
And back like we never left, and look at that camera angle. That's a beautiful shot. And we talked yesterday, I was able to talk to Nathan Ladehoff, the guy who set that up. I was able to talk to him yesterday about how they put up that shot. They had to get up into the catwalk and put up that camera.
I'm glad I wasn't there for that.
Oh, you could not pay me $1 million to get up in that catwalk. Absolutely not.
I am terrified of heights. That would not have been good.
I do agree, too. But back now, Central City, much needed timeout, down by 9 out of the third, and they say the third quarter is the most important quarter of a basketball game in Freeman. They understand that.
They've been good in the third quarter, too. They outscored their opponents 325 to 200 this season in the third quarter. That's pretty good.
And that is a phenomenal stat there. But Central City got to find something offensively, and maybe it's not from the three-point line, just anything you can get to start loosening yourself up a little bit. As that's again another good shot, just can't quite get it to fall. Aiden Zickman.
Zickman has struggled. He only has 4 points, and out of your leading scorer, you need him to step up a little bit more in the second half.
You absolutely do, and leading scorer, you rely on him to have those points and to help relax your team, but when he's not scoring, the whole rest of the team tenses up and starts trying to do too much. But Carter Ruse in the post, that's a guy who really hasn't done too much yet today. But a quick kick out, that's a good shot. Talon Vetrovsky working his way around defenders. It's like an obstacle course. And Vetrovsky won.
Yeah, now a 11-point lead, largest of the game for Freeman. Central City needs to find something. They only have 1 point in the second half.
And that's just what's tough now, but can this three be it? Not quite yet. Off. Yeah, that's going to stay with Central City as Ruse hit the deck, but the three just couldn't quite get it to fall. Kenai Carney heads back in for Nathaniel Hines.
That was a smart play by Hines, though, because you saw Ruse dive for the ball, and he says, I'm just going to get out of here while you try to save the ball in bounds to make sure that they knew that it went off of Freeman.
It was, and now Ashton Gregg, he'll set back up. Good spin move. He's double-teamed and will be called for the foul. Wait to see who it's on. Ruse looks like he may have gotten hit on the shot. We hope he's okay, but Gregg heads to the line to shoot 2 fouls on Carter Ruse. It's his second foul so far of the game. But these free throws, these are going to be really big for Central City. In times of doubt you got to hit free throws. We saw that with Freeman, but Central City has not been able to prioritize the free throws.
Yeah, as a team, they're now 1 for 4 from the charity stripe here today, as that one is able to rim in. But we saw that when Freeman got down, they hit free throws to get back in it. Central City needs to do something similar.
They absolutely do, and down by 10 with 3:15 and ticking down left, you're going to have to find something. But Freeman, it seems like they found it as Carter Ruse from the three-point line again. The refs hold up his hands as Carter Ruse makes it rain from beyond the arc.
He has 8 points in the third quarter alone, 15 on the game. What a performance from Carter Ruse.
Absolutely it is. And just such a versatile performance as well. Is that 3? That's a good call to action. Clark Brown, not even a starter, but he hit a good shot. And can this be, dang it, he's kind of hoping for a dunk, but Hayden Jennings, either way, a good sandbag and a good bucket to return.
Hayden Jennings has had a nice game. He's now into double figures as well with 12 points, 5 here in the third.
Good take by Ashton Gregg, and just like that, back down the other end for Central City.
It's going back and forth now. We barely have a chance to catch our breath between buckets. These two teams getting the offenses going.
They have been. And what's tough is Central City, they get their offense going, and then Freeman gets their offense going, and they're still down by 10. But Freeman back down the other end, ticking down in third, not much left, and that's going to be a block on Kearney. Central City fans not too happy about it. I think it was the right call.
I think so too. It didn't seem that he had his feet his feet set. He was still kind of moving a little bit. I think that was the right call. Obviously, when you see a play like that, one fan section is going to be happy, and the other not so much.
And that's one of those things where Kearney, if he'd have gotten set and maybe not flown so far back, I think it would have maybe been a little bit better. But that time flew just a little bit too far back, as we see it there on the replay. But Freeman back down there, then Kearney, the interception off the foul. That's a good way to get yourself redeemed as he takes the ball. He's guarded by Ruse again. That's been a fun matchup. Kearney and Ruse at all parts of the ball. Ashton Gregg, his 3, headed out of bounds, but he saves it. He wants another shot to try to score and just can't get that one to finish either. And just, again, missed opportunities for these Bison.
Yeah, again, it was Freeman in the first half, and now it's Central City in the second half. They're missing some shots that they should knock down.
They should, and that's a good block. And hit hard. Carter Ruse will be called for the foul.
Watch out for Ruse now to 3 fouls.
Yeah.
He's your leading scorer here today. It's not a player you'd like to lose.
No, it's not, and that's going to be a guy that if you're Ruse, you got to think to yourself, all right, we gotta calm down a little bit. Don't go too crazy for rebounds. Just relax. But Central City looks like they're going to try to get into more of a half-court set. When they struggled, when they struggled early on in the first, they got in that half-court set, and it worked out a little bit better. So maybe this will kind of help, again, reinvigorate them.
Yeah, again, they need to, I think their biggest flaw in the first half was sometimes they had players just try to do things individually. They need to move the ball around a little bit more.
Absolutely do, and this time again, Ruse turning it in defensively. And Carter Ruse just ripped the ball out of his hands. That was Clark Brown, and yeah, Ruse lifts more than Clark Brown, it seemed like, in that moment.
Yeah, I think if we had Ruse mic'd up, he'd said, here, I'll take that.
Yeah.
He just ripped that ball away.
But Freeman now, under a minute to go, up by 8. They had a very productive third quarter, and can they cap it off with some fireworks? But in this third quarter, they've put up 15 points. So very substantial to come out in the third and put up your most points so far in a quarter. You're going to be looking good heading into the fourth. With 30 seconds left, though, haven't made much of an attempt to score yet. They're going to play for last shot.
Yeah, you feel like if you knock down a shot here to end off the third, Freeman would feel pretty good about where they are headed into the fourth. This has been a sensational third quarter.
It has, and just the halftime adjustment. Here with 10 seconds left, the fireworks are lit. Will they be a dud? Carter Ruse, he puts up the three, heavily guarded by Carney. And the firework explodes over the Heartland Events Center as Carter Ruse caps off a phenomenal third quarter with the three-pointer, and we'll be right back here after the break on Striv Sports.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships, providing superior customer service, and supporting the community. Stop by Dinsdale Hyundai and experience the Ioniq 5, Motor Trend's 2023 SUV of the Year, with ultra-fast charging time, 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes, and a range of over 300 miles. The Ioniq 5 is a game changer. Discover all the premium features at an affordable price. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.
Welcome back to Freeman's game. As Carter Ruse, he put up 11 in the third quarter alone, really took that mentality of somebody's got to step up for this team and make some plays, and he did just that. He even capped off the third quarter with a big-time three.
And I think the biggest thing for Freeman, too, we mentioned they only knocked down 3 3-pointers in the first half. They ended up knocking down 4 just in the third quarter alone. Carter Ruse, obviously a fantastic third. Also 5 points from Hayden Jennings. He now has 12 points on the contest. They outscored Central City 18-7 in the third again. Freeman is one of the best third quarter teams in C2, and they showed it there.
They absolutely did, and to be a good third quarter team is such a versatile asset to have. If you can have a good third quarter, that's usually a lot of times when people have their slump.
And that's why, you look to the NBA, the Golden State Warriors were so good for so long. They were one of the best third quarter teams during their run in their dynasty.
Exactly. But Freeman back down the other end again. Thought about the three in the corner, but good defense by Central City. Quickly back down to the post. Drive and kick seems to be what they want to do. And Carter Ruse, he's got another three. He's lighting it up so far from beyond the arc.
What a performance. That's now over 20 points for Carter Ruse. He's balling.
Absolutely is. Blake Jensen, his three won't go. And it's back now for Freeman. And yeah, just a big stage like this, and Carter Ruse able to show up for his team when he needed to. And this performance is going to impress a lot of people for Carter Ruse.
When you mention it, it's crazy, as a big man that he has the most attempted threes on the team, and he knocks down 41%. You don't see that a lot with the big man, and he's knocked him down. Obviously a slow start in the first half, only had 7 points, but he has come alive in the second half again when his team needed it to pull away.
He has, and you talk about big men that are able to shoot threes. I remember Pleasanton High School had a kid for a while. That's just another shot for Carter Ruse. Swiss Army knife. We talk about all the threes he can hit. He's hit jumpers. He just bodied up Carney, and he's just doing it all. He's playing good defense. That's a deflection. Quick, fast break down the other end. That's Ruse. And again, he'll just lay it in for 2 more points. And then it's just a waterfall of points for Carter Ruse in the second half.
It's already 7 points in the fourth quarter. He's up to 25 on the game. What can't he do? Carter Ruse.
That is
have a morning.
Yeah. Well, that's what else is crazy is you wonder if they'd have been playing at a normal time or around 5 in the afternoon or something, would he have even played better?
You think about it, because obviously Freeman got off to a slow start. Again, Bison led this one 7-0 early on in this one. They looked like the better team, but Freeman was able to storm back. And now look, they're up by 20. That's a 27-point swing.
Yeah, and that's a 27-point swing is ridiculous in any sport, but especially basketball. To be able to come back from 27 points and do it really as quickly as Freeman did was phenomenal. Heavily contested shot. Aiden Zickman, that's a guy who's had a tough game today.
He really has. I mean, we came into the game thinking that, maybe Zickman would have the kind of game that Ruse is having, because Zickman averages 22 points per contest, but it just has not been working for him so far.
It has not. Yeah, averages 22 points. He had 34 against Twin River on February 2nd, so he's coming off some good performances. And the other thing, too, is for Aiden Zickman, he's got 53 threes made just this year alone, but today just didn't really seem like it.
Yeah, the shots just haven't been falling for Central City. You know, that's a big part of their downfall here today.
Yeah, and that's just tough when you, like, if you're Freeman, you're known for your defense, so when your shots aren't falling, you have the defense to fall back on. But Central City, more known for that high-paced offense. When the offense doesn't work, they don't really have that elite defense to fall back on.
Again, the fact that Freeman has held them to 29 points with just under 6 minutes to play, with how good Central City has been this year, that just shows how good this Falcons defense is.
Well, and they cut their average in half. They're averaging 60 points, and they're at 29 right now. Yeah, and Freeman right now, they're just going to start taking their time. You know, really, no rush. You're up by 19. Set up your offense, take some time. Try to see what you can do, and there's no shot clock, so you can really take as long as you like.
Well, and the thing that's unfortunate for Central City, too, you've only committed one team foul in the second half, so it's not like you can send them to the line anytime soon to try to get possessions back. And so Freeman has a lot of freedom here to limit possessions here in the fourth.
I see what you did there. That was nice. That was nice.
I try.
That was nice. But, yeah, very clean game, though, for both teams. Carter Ruse, he's got 3, but right now it really doesn't seem like that really matters. But it's just another bucket for Carter Ruse. Takes it in hard off the baseline, and it's another bucket. But quickly back down the other end. That's a good shot. Dylan Pfeiffer. Dylan Pfeiffer doesn't average all that much points, but he averages 3.5 assists. He's a big role player for their team.
Yeah, that's the first made field goal of the fourth quarter as well for Central City. Freeman has just been able to put the icing on the cake so far here early in the fourth.
They absolutely have, and Freeman now, they're going to start taking a lot of time offensively because, well, like we said before, you can't. But I really think this is a good showing of the capabilities of Freeman. Timeout taken by Freeman. I wonder if this will be to get some subs in. But either way, timeout taken, and what a turnaround it was for Freeman. And for Central City, you're going to have a lot of answers after this game. You know, they say a loss teaches you more than a win, and this loss is going to teach you a lot if you're Central City. And honestly, you're going to think I'm crazy for saying this, what a good time to lose.
It is.
Heading into subs like this, you don't, yes, it's great to win heading into subs, but you want answers to all the things that you need to fix heading into subs. So this is a great time to get those answers.
I actually joked about this with a friend a couple days ago because Donovan Trumbull lost their first game of the season to Holdridge about a week ago. So they were undefeated heading into that game, and obviously very late in the season. Obviously not the same situation here, but losing, not having the pressure of, having to win every single game. I think that was a weight lifted off of Donovan Trumbull's shoulders. And so I think here similarly with Central City, obviously they're not undefeated, but 20-2, getting a loss, feeling what it feels like to really be dominated in the second half, I think is going to be better for this team. I don't think, obviously, the old saying is there's no moral victories, but Central City, I think, should still feel good about themselves as we head into the postseason.
I think they should, and if you're not surrounded with the sport of, I guess really sports in general, you'd think that a loss doesn't help you, but it definitely can. And Carter Ruse, that guy doesn't lose. I mean, another 3, he's having himself a day.
It's now 12 points, and he's up to 30.
Up to 30. The record for the Heartland Hoops Classic is 42. So I don't think he'll get there, but who knows? With the game he's had, who knows? But yeah, he'll definitely have himself in some record books in this tournament as Kenai Carney. It's a good pass. He's able to finish it, and it's an and one to get Carney involved.
Yeah, he had 8 points in the first half. He now only has 3 here in the second half. I think that's a big part of why Central City has struggled in the second half as well, as Carney hasn't been as big of an impact as he was in the first half.
Yeah, and Freeman, they did a great job of understanding, okay, who for Central City was having a good game in the first half, how can we eliminate them and force the others to pick up the slack? And Kenai Kearney had a big first half. Offensively, defensively, he was doing a lot, but this second half, like you said, haven't been able to talk about him much. And then that's just another thing as well, the free throws. Not able to finish quite as many free throws if you're Central City as Freeman has. But quick pass in for Freeman. It's into the post. They're going to kick it back out to Ruse. And somebody be called for a foul. Got caught swiping.
I'd be interested to see how much longer that Freeman decides to hold Ruse in the starting five in. Obviously, you mentioned the scoring record in the Heartland Hoops Classic. Maybe that's something they want to keep him in for.
Yeah, the record right now, I was correct. Yep, it's 42. And, yeah, good bucket down in the other end. Dylan Pfeiffer. Quick offense. Central City still battling, but like you said, down 20 in the scoring record. It's 42 with 3:20 left. You know, can you get there? Can you not? Is it worth the risk? As Dylan Pfeiffer is going to be called for the foul on Easton Buss. Freshman at 5'9". He'll be headed to the line. Put himself in the stat sheet.
This will be the first attempted free throws of the second half for Freeman. Mentioned free throws were a big part of how they came back in the first half. But these are only the first of the second half.
Which is really a crazy stat. Looking at, one, how basketball played is today, it seems like there's a lot more free throws, a lot more fouling, but this has been a very clean game. And it's going to keep us on time. Both free throws fall for Buss. But quickly back down the other end. Good defense by Ruse. Nearly taking out our camera guy.
You mentioned the key to staying on time in events like these is always the first game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want one of those triple overtime games to tip off the day. And like you mentioned, both teams playing pretty cleanly throughout this one.
They have, and everybody appreciates it. Central City back down on the other end, now down by 22. It's Ashton Gregg. He went in for the shot. And that's Carter Ruse will be called for it. And if so, that's his fourth.
Team 7-2, so now we'll get 1-and-1 free throws.
And it'll actually be on Carter Niles, not Carter Ruse. Wrong Carter. Yeah, so now Gregg shooting a 1-and-1. As Freeman's got 7 fouls. But 3:03 left. This is a good way to start the day. Good high-paced basketball. Good rebound by Kearney. Nice spin move into a left-handed post shot. And that's a nice move by Kearney. Quick kick out. Carter Niles got it back down to Vetrovsky. Freeman trying to get something to go. And they're going to stay patient. Like we said before, they've been doing it for probably about 6 minutes left. But you got no need to really rush, but that's a turnover. And Dylan Pfeiffer's got it guarded by Niles. Quick three. And it's no good. Kearney trying to save it, and that's a nice save. That was phenomenal. Went off of Owen Buss, and Kearney flew up, threw it behind, kind of just scooped it up and threw behind him, and Buss took it in the stomach.
But again, another missed three from Aiden Zickman. That was an air ball for him. He just has really struggled today.
He has struggled so far, as that's a foul. That's a nice out-of-bounds set. You just throw the lob, see what your post player can do with it, and Ashton Gregg head to the line again. That's going to be the 4th foul on Carter Niles. So I'd assume Niles would head out of the game, but, you know, there's a reason I'm not a basketball coach. So I don't know.
It's only the 4th made free throw for Central City today. They're a total of 4 for 10 from the line, make that 4 for 11.
Yeah, and, you know, you look at this, okay, it's a 19-point game. Those free throws wouldn't have mattered, but they were at crucial times for Central City, you know, in that third quarter when they really could have made this game a little bit more competitive. And you wonder if they'd have made some of those free throws, would it have affected the game? But Gragg's got it down the other end. Gragg's having himself kind of a productive last little bit of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, he's got 9 points on the morning. He's played well as another turnover.
He has, and Central City making a little bit of a comeback now. 2 minutes, actually minute 48 remaining. 15-point lead for Freeman, but it's dwindling. And could we see maybe a little bit of a Cinderella story in this fourth quarter brewing?
Be tough.
It would be.
Especially with no shot clock, you'd have to start to foul. Be interested to see how they kind of approach things here down the stretch, if they do decide to start fouling or if they decide to just let this one be. But I think this next possession will tell us a lot. If Freeman goes and gets a big bucket, you'd think that would be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, I agree. And if Freeman puts in all their starters again, we're kind of starting to rotate out some of their other role players and didn't have the starters in. So, yeah, if they come out with the starters and get a bucket, yeah, that'd probably be all she wrote for game number one. But a good game so far. And if you're Central City, I don't blame you for trying to make a little bit of a comeback here. I mean, you're down. You might as well try something.
Well, and that's the biggest thing. Obviously this game has been in the hands of Freeman for, a bit here now. But Central City's still fighting, and that's what, you want to see if you're Central City and head coach BJ Blass. You want to see your team continue to fight here down the stretch.
You absolutely do. And yeah, starters staying in for Central City as they do try to make that comeback. That would be one heck of a comeback if they were to pull it off. Was it 21 at one point?
Yep. It'd obviously be a tall hill to climb, but I think a big thing would they need Zickman to start knocking down some threes.
Yep, and you almost have to start knocking down threes, too. You can't waste your time with anything else but threes. And Taylor Vetrovsky's off to the races. Quick kick-out pass, and they'll keep a lot of these starters out. But Carter Ruse stays in, so if you got a guy like Carter Ruse in there, I'd say if you're Freeman, you still feel pretty comfortable.
He only makes up 30 of your team's 57 points. Not too bad.
I mean, he's a good role player on your team, I guess. And Central City did start to foul now, but they got fouls to give.
And again, that's the part. Like, you love that you played a clean game, but now when you're down trying to fight back, you have to foul a couple times just to send them into the bonus.
Yeah, and that's what's tough is, as a team that kind of makes things tough, is Taylor Vetrovsky. Knocks down the shot, took the contact. I'm not even sure how he got that shot up, but he not only got it up, he made it.
And that might just be the icing on the cake. Like I said, if Freeman's able to go and get a bucket and now complete a three-point play, that puts them in the driver's seat, I think, the rest of the way as he airmails the free throw.
That is, and thank you for our replay. Brought to you by Striv Visual, and but as we saw in that replay, those defenders' hands, both of them were on him, and he just went through the hands and finished the shot. And I think that will probably be the nail in the coffin, now down by 17. Good kick out by Greg. And that's a good bucket to Dylan Pfeiffer.
He's having a nice little fourth quarter. All 7 of his points coming here in the fourth for Dylan Pfeiffer.
Yeah, and Pfeiffer's that guy. He's really your unsung hero. If you statistically, he's not going to score you a lot of points, but he's going to be there to make your defensive stops, who get you the assists, and he's unselfish enough. He doesn't need his points. As long as the team wins, Dylan Pfeiffer's happy. And what could have been on a fast break, Ashton Gragg called for the foul, and that will send Freeman to the line. Now the minute 06 left. They lead by 15 with Carter Ruse at the line.
Probably a good guy to have at the line here for Freeman, trying to ice this game away.
Yeah, I feel really comfortable having Ruse at the line as he hits his first one. No problem. We're going to attribute Ruse playing so well to his shoes. Got the LeBron 20s on, and LeBron's been playing great this year. Ruse is just embodying a little bit of LeBron in him today. We had 2 more free throws, and the turnover again. Freeman should seal it with this, under a minute to go. Central City made one heck of a surge in the fourth, but just not enough to overcome the hole that they dug themselves. And Ruse will just dribble it out. And I think that should be it. Yeah, that'll be. So Freeman will call timeout to try to get some players in.
Well, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get to the most points, but he is now going to be tied for sixth most points.
Tied for sixth.
In Heartland Hoops history, if of course he doesn't score again.
So he's in the record books, and what was his final?
32.
32.
Yep.
His number's 32. 32 had 32.
Wow. I didn't even put the 2 and 2 together.
That's
He had 14 points here in the fourth. He had 11 points in the third. A really big second half for Carter Ruse here.
Yeah, and that's, like we said, Freeman, we talked about it after coming into the third. We're like, if you're Central City, you have got to double what you're doing, and if you're Freeman, you just wait and start to heat up. And my, did they heat up quickly.
That's Carter Ruse. He had a fantastic performance. I don't think there's a question of who the player of the game after is going to be.
No,
I would hope there's no discrepancy over the production side of things.
Yeah, the announcers are saying no question it's Carter Ruse. But yeah, now heading into the game, we'll try to say all the names. Number 51, Kellen Anderson. Number 33, True Jurgens. Number 5, Brandon Jurgens. Number 31, Colby Mahler. As well as number 3, Magnus Scarns. And for Central City, getting in there, nearly getting the bucket to go. It's a good shot, but for Central City, it's Nathaniel Hines. And dribbling the ball up the court now, it's number 10, Carton Negus. And number 15, Truman Ryan. And capping us off, that's Coulter Luters. That's a good bucket. Blake Jensen. I forgot to say his name, but he made me remember what his name was. As he hits the cap off 3, as that will end at 61 to 47. Game number 1 of the Heartland Hoops Classic. We hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. And John, I think you did as well. And Carter Ruse, what a night, what a morning he had.
Yeah, I mean, it was really the Carter Ruse show. He balled out here today in a big stage, and that's got to boost his confidence as we continue to get closer to sub-district play for this team. Obviously, a 32-point performance. He's definitely going to be our player of the game. But what a performance from Ruse here today.
Oh, absolutely. And you talk about heading towards sub-district time. You know, I really think this tournament is perfectly placed as to where it's at. You bring some of the best teams together and you make them play each other heading into sub-districts like this. Every single team that plays here today is going to have a lot of questions and a lot of answers coming out of this. And like we said, win or loss, this helped you.
Yeah, again for Central City, you don't want to hang on this loss too much, but experiencing a loss, figuring out what you need to change differently, I think that was the biggest thing to learn.
Yeah, and it seems like we should have an on-court interview here coming up. Carter Ruse and Jack McGonigal. And yeah, I'm interested to see what Carter Ruse has to say after a performance like that. 32 had 32. And just what a night for Carter. Heading into now, like we said, 6th all-time scoring at this tournament. And he'll have his name etched into marble, and we'll head right down now to Jack McGonigal with Carter Ruse on the floor.
Jack McGonigal here with senior Carter Ruse of Freeman. Carter, 32 points, is 25 in the second half. What was working so well for you?
My teammates, they did a really good job of getting me the ball, and I got good looks in the first half. I knew I was going to get good looks in the second half. The only difference was I started making them, and then I was really able to feed off the crowd. My uncle, he's one of my biggest supporters, one of the people I look up to the most, and he was sitting courtside, and he was just kind of talking to me, and I really felt that. And then the teammates, they just kept getting me the ball, and then they just kept going in.
Up 2 at the half, win by 14. What were you guys as a team able to overcome that you didn't in the first half?
We played pretty good defensively in the first half. It was just offensively. We knew what they were doing. We weren't executing what we needed to do. and we knew that we were going to come out and make adjustments, and knew that we were going to knock down our shots, and we were going to play a lot better, and that definitely happened. We were more aggressive, and I got hot, my teammates got me the ball, and then we took care of it on defensive end too.
All right, Gate Graham Carter.
Thank you, thank you.
And as well as Carter Ruse giving us that great on-court interview. But coming up now, Platteview versus Grand Island Senior High for game number 2, and it's going to be tough to top game number 1.
Yeah, that was a fun first game. Obviously, a great individual performance from Carter Ruse, finishing with 32 points. Quick look at some of the big statistics from the game. Obviously, Ruse with 32, 12 points for Hayden Jennings, 10 turnovers for Freeman. They made 9 3-pointers and went 10 for 11 from the free throw line. Central City led by Kearney with 13 points. They only turned the ball over 9 times, made 5 threes. They struggled from the free throw line, going 4 for 11.
And yep, that's about all she wrote for game number 1, but Grand Island Senior High Platteview coming up next here at the Heartland Hoops Classic on Striv TV.
Tom Dinsdale Automotive is celebrating our 20th anniversary. 20 years of building lifelong relationships. 20 years of providing superior customer experiences. 20 years of supporting the community. For 20 years, we've been building trust and loyalty by treating every customer like family on every visit. We're proud to serve Grand Island and the surrounding areas. Thank you for 20 great years, and we look forward to many more. Help us celebrate 20 years of service. Stop in today.